It's kind of like riding a roller coaster, where you get this huge adrenaline rush at the beginning when you're about to ride, but then afterwards, then you're completely fine because it feels like you've gotten over a huge hurdle. I've been DJing for 5 to 7 years, and I chose the DJ because I've been surrounded by music my whole life. My dad was a DJ, and he's been teaching DJs for as long as I can remember, and I just picked up on it. My dad's been DJing since the 80s, so I was born with music all around me. Like, we had speakers and amps in my living room, and we had speakers and amps in my basement when we used to live in New York. So I've just been surrounded by it, and the two genres that I've been surrounded by was soca and calypso, because like, my parents are from Trinidad and most of my family's from Trinidad, so those are like the top two genres in that country. So I've been surrounded by that, and when I got older, actually, I discovered EDM, and that's when I found out about David Guetta, Alesso, and people like Afrojack. So what I want to do is bring EDM to soca and vice versa, where I mix both of those genres together and create a completely different sound, and hopefully bring that into Carnival, which is in Trinidad. Well, it's basically a 2-day parade where people are in costumes and they basically run the road for a whole 2 days, where there's music, there's vendors, and like, everybody just basically becomes one because they are all together. Nobody's really ashamed of themselves because there's people in costumes, there's people on the sides. It's just a huge block party. That's as best as I can describe it. The DJs play on big trucks, and what I want to do is play both EDM and soca, because it's prevalent in Trinidad, but it's not really that much recognized yet. So I want to be one of the first to really bring that sound to Trinidad and to Carnival. I can't just come up with one, but I can name two. I would say David Guetta and Steve Angelo, because when I discovered EDM, those were the two people that I automatically just related to because I just fell in love with their beats. And if I were to collab with them, I would love to perform with them at either Tomorrowland or Ultra Music Festival. But I would say Tomorrowland because it's a much bigger festival and it's world-renowned, like everybody knows it. But Ultra Music Festival is also known, but I would say Tomorrowland. Well, Ultra Music Festival just passed, so I would say out of that festival, my favorite performance was Axwell and Engrosso. And that was just because those are my two favorite DJs that came out of Swedish House Mafia, which is like this huge DJ group. But if I was come up with a second place, I would say Skrillex, because his closing performance was just amazing. He had CL and Diddy and Justin Bieber and like a whole bunch of performances and performers that I just never seen before at Ultra Music Festival, which I just thought was amazing. Well, I don't want to be too huge because I don't really want to lose myself in this industry, but I definitely see myself being one of the top DJs in 5 years, hopefully. Just to keep practicing before you actually get out there, but don't let practicing hold you back, meaning don't just sit in your room and continue to practice and never actually get recognition for what you've been practicing for. Actually, like, make a name for yourself out there instead of just performing in front of your mirror and in front of maybe your stuffed animals, depending on your age.